I asked my viewers to send me the most anticipated new Roblox anime games, and I gathered these 15 right here, and I'm going to rank them. Okay, so real quick, I want to talk about my ranking process. So there's a couple things I'm going to be ranking them on. I'm going to be ranking them on how excited I am for them and the community. But you have to keep in mind, this is my opinion. So if you disagree, you can let me know respectfully in the comments. I'm also going to be ranking these based off of how likely the game is actually going to come out. So that would include how involved the devs are with the community, and that would also involve, first off, we're going to be starting here with Rel Seas. Now, Rel Seas is probably the most anticipated Roblox anime game, unless you want to argue Anime Legends. Anime Legends is also very anticipated, but Rel Seas is a huge deal. People are saying it's going to kill Blox Fruits. People are going to say it's going to kill GPO. Now, to be fair, they said the same thing about Pixel Piece, so we don't really know how good it's going to go. So if you check out their Discord, the last time they made an announcement, April 1st, 2023, and it was about their TikTok. If anyone has ever been on their TikTok, you see that they release updates on their TikTok and their Twitter very often. So in my opinion, they are very involved with the community. But not only does this game look absolutely amazing and they're promising a lot of really fun things about it, they are also very involved with the community, so that it has a very high chance of actually releasing, unlike some of the other ones on this list. And I've even heard that the devs are trying to release this game soon. So for all those reasons, this is definitely going into S tier for me. If you disagree, you could comment down below, but let's move on. All right, so next up, we have Magic Era. Now, Magic Era is a fairy tale game, and personally, this is the one I'm most excited for, even more than Rel Seas, but it also has some negative things going for it. So let me explain. Back in 2014, when I first made my Roblox account, I played Fairy Tail Online Fighting so much. That was my game. That was my childhood game. Fairy Tail Online Fighting is what got me into anime. After playing that game and how fun it was, I watched the show, and then after watching Fairy Tail and really enjoying it, I went on to watch other animes. Fairy Tail has a very special place in my heart, but enough about that. About the game, there's a lot about the Discord going on. There's a lot about this game that I got to tell you guys about. July 5th, they said more sneaks coming soon. The last sneak we got was Twilight Ogre Guild Hall. Not a big sneak, but a sneak nonetheless. Before that, like 3 months. 3 months before we had gotten a sneak. Now, the main issue is that in the Discord, you can see this is a scam link right here, and they have a lot of these going on in the server. So it doesn't seem like they're very involved with the server. There's not very many people moderating it. They're also not releasing leaks a lot. Now, for these reasons, it's just one of those games that I just don't even know if it's ever going to release. Now, obviously, you know, this is my most anticipated game. If it was purely based off of my hype, it would be S tier. But because this game is likely not coming out for like 4 years or ever, I think I'm gonna have to give it a C. So I'm gonna put that into C tier. All right, next up on the list, we have Fire Force Online. Now, Fire Force Online is actually releasing July 31st. Now, if you go and you check out the Discord, you can see they're very active in their Discord. They're very active with their community. Their whole chat is very active. There's always people talking. Just overall, this game looks very exciting. Now, I checked out some of the gameplay. It doesn't look like anything groundbreaking, but it does look very fun. So I think that alone would just have to put it to A tier. Next up on the list, we have another very anticipated JiuJitsu Kaisen game. This is called Grand Kaizen. So Grand Kaizen has actually been around for a while. Now, personally, I think this game looks very fun, and I would love a really good JiuJitsu Kaisen game. However, when you look at the Discord, you can see that the last time they said something was May 19th. So that was the last time they said anything about the game. When we look at videos, the last video that was posted was a year ago. I'm gonna be honest, it's not looking too hot for Grand Kaizen. Do I think this game is ever coming out? No idea. Do I think this game would be amazing if it released? Absolutely. For the same reason as Magic Era, I'm gonna put it in C tier. So next up on the list, we have Anime Tales. Now, Anime Tales, I don't really understand if the game has released or not. So it says Anime Tales released, but there's no one active, and it says currently under construction. So I don't know if it actually released or not. Even so, you gotta look at this. 16,000 downvotes and 1,000 upvotes. I watched some of the gameplay. It looks a little bit clunky, but it doesn't look bad. It looks like it could be pretty good. I could not find if they had a Discord or Twitter. I could only find a YouTube. Regardless, the gameplay looks clunky. I don't know if the game is ever releasing. It has 16,000 downvotes. It's just not looking too hot for this game right now. I don't think it's going to be a total failure, and I don't think that it's completely gone, but it's looking really bad. So I'm going to give it a solid E tier. If it had zero hope at all, I'd give it an F tier, but it looks like it has just a tiny bit of hope. Next up is actually a unique one, Pocket Anime. Now, Pocket Anime is taking anime characters and turning it into a Pokemon type game. Now, I personally think that this is a really cool concept, as I'm someone who loves Pokemon, and I think that if done right, this game could be really fun. However, the last time that we have heard from the developers, they posted a trailer a year ago, and their Twitter is them looking for people to hire. I haven't seen any single game updates. Maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but I haven't seen anything about the game. I have have no idea how realistic it is that this game is coming out anytime soon. However, I do think it looks really cool, and I think it has a lot of potential for the same reasons as Magic Era and Grand Kaizen. It's a game I'm very excited for, but I don't think it's releasing anytime soon. I'm going into C tier. This next one, there is a very low chance you have not heard of this before. Anime Legends. Now, the first trailer released nearly 2 years ago has almost 2 million views. This game is huge, but then the devs ghosted us. We didn't hear anything until about 8 days ago. At the time of recording, they released another trailer. This game looks amazing. The gameplay looks amazing. The concept looks amazing. There's no wonder this game is so hyped up. It looks great. However, I don't know how realistic it is that this game is ever releasing. I'm going to put this at D tier. I'll move it up to bottom of C tier. All right, now next up is Berserker. Now, Berserker is actually going to be a Berserk themed game, if you can believe that. It looks very cool. There's not really a lot of leaks and gameplay on it, so we don't really know a whole lot about the game. They did say it's going to be a story game. The last time that we saw any leaks was March 15th. So I do think this game has a lot of potential. So I'll put it in the C tier. The next game is Shinobi Battlegrounds. Now, if you guys know the YouTuber Red Weeb, he's actually making this game himself, and that is super, super cool. Now, I couldn't find an official release date anywhere, but I just don't think I looked hard enough because the game is coming out soon. The impression I had from watching some of his videos is that the game is actually going to be releasing pretty soon. The game looks really cool. This is definitely one that I'm going to be checking out. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into A tier, just like Fire Force Online. Next up is Holy War X. Now, Holy War X is going to be a 7 Deadly Sins game. Now, any game that's not a new One Piece game is going to be pretty unique. So this is definitely a pretty hyped up game. I think the gameplay for it looks pretty cool. I think the trailer for it looked very great. I think the graphics of it look really cool. This game looks like it has a lot of potential. And whenever you go into the Discord, you can see July 24th to July 27th, they were talking about that they were making progress on the game. But when you go to sneak peeks, the last sneak peek was in February. And then you go and you look at announcements. There was a break between April and July of any announcements. Same with February and April. So it seems that they're a little bit inconsistent with updating the community on the progress they're making. So unlike these ones in C tier, the developers are giving updates about the game. It is just very inconsistent. And I do think that the game has a lot of potential. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting it into B tier. Next up is Bizarre Town 2. Now, I had not heard anything about this game until some of my viewers talked about it. But it's a new JoJo's game. Now, I went and I checked out their Twitter, and it does seem that they're updating. Whenever I clicked on their Discord link, it said that it was not a valid link, so I was not able to join their Discord. So I have no idea what their Discord looks like. Haven't really seen a lot of gameplay. So I'm going to give this a D tier. Wouldn't say it's a C tier just because I don't have any gameplay to go off of, and I don't really have much to go off of. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting it into D tier. Next up is Clover RPG. Now, obviously, this is a Black Clover inspired game, and the developers of it are pretty involved with the community. Now, when you check out their Discord, you can see that they release sneaks about once or twice a month. They've been doing this pretty consistently for a couple months. I do think that this game has a lot of potential. It does look like the graphics look really good. It looks like smooth gameplay. It's in a very similar situation to Holy War X, although I think these developers do a way better job than Holy War X at being involved with the community, telling them and showing them sneak peeks of the upcoming game. So I will be putting it in B tier. I don't think that I know enough about the game to put it in A tier like these two, but I don't think that it's never going to release like the ones in C tier. So I think this is a solid B tier. Now, I'm not really too sure how I'm supposed to pronounce this, but I'm just going to be saying Divas of Creation. Divas of Creation is not an anime-inspired game. I mean, it could be an anime-inspired game, but it's not inspired directly from a single anime like everything else on this list. It looks like an MMO RPG game, and I'm going to include it in the list anyway because so many of my viewers were so excited about this game. Now, if you look at their Discord, they release sneaks about every once a month, sometimes a little bit longer than that. So it looks like they're in a pretty similar situation to Clover RPG. Now, the gameplay looks amazing. Personally, I think the gameplay looks some of the best out of anything on this list. Now, the reason I'm not going to give it into A tier is because we don't have any clear release date, and I don't know how likely it is that it's going to release anytime soon. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting it into B tier with these ones. Although, if we had a release date, it would probably be an A tier. Now, next up on the list is Blade Art Online. This is obviously a Sword Art Online inspired game, and I've got to be honest, this game looks amazing. I could not find if they had a Twitter, and I could not find if they had a Discord. I probably just did not look hard enough, and I'm sure that they have one. Now, for the same reason as Divas of Creation, I think this game looks amazing. I'm very, very excited to play it, but because we don't have a clear release date, I'm going to put it into B tier. If we did have a clear release date, this would easily easily be an A tier. Easily be an A tier. This game is so amazing, and I'm super excited for it. Now, lastly, we have JiuJitsu Infinite. Now, this is a JiuJitsu Kaizen game, so it looks like Grand Kaizen has a little bit of competition. Now, I personally did not know that this game existed until some of my fans told me about it, but boy, am I glad they told me about it. This game looks really, really cool. So in their Discord, it seems that they're fairly active. Now, the gameplay for this game looks really cool. It doesn't feel like too sped up, but it doesn't feel too slow. It doesn't feel clunky. It feels pretty smooth in my opinion. I feel like they're giving us way more sneaks than Grand Kaizen is. I mean, that's about it. I don't really have much else to say about JiuJitsu Infinite. I'm going to be putting it in C tier, although I'm going to put it right above Grand Kaizen. There you have it. This is the final list. Now, by the way, each tier, like Fire Force Online is not above Shinobi Battlegrounds. Shinobi Battlegrounds is not above Fire Force Online. It does not matter what order they are in. I put JiuJitsu Infinite in front of Grand Kaizen for memes. It doesn't matter what order they're in. Now I just moved Anime Tales down just to be dramatic at the very end. Now, if you skipped to the end just to see the list, please go back and watch and see my reasoning as to why I placed some of these where I did. Because you'll see Anime Legends in C tier and you'll be like, what? Polar Anime Legends in C tier. Anyway, so there's my completed list. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comments down below. I will be trying to put these Discords and Twitters in the description down below if you want to check these out. Now, some of them I did mention I could not find anything on them. Thanks for watching. Please tell me which one you are most excited for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys. Bye.